Hey, audit and fraud friends and family. Listen, when you live in a small town where everyone knows your name, business is typically done with a handshake, right? You've all seen movies like that in small towns. Half the time, you don't even read the fine print because you trust the person holding the pen. You see them at the grocery store, you see them at the high school football games. And doggone it, when you need a piece of equipment to run your business, they are the person that you go to. But here's my question for you today. What happens when that handshake is actually a trap? And what happens when the person you've known for decades uses your good name for bad intentions? All right, I say this every week. You got to stick around because, man, this one is crazy. Are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome to the Friday Fraudster podcast. Join them as they discuss sad, funny, and sometimes disturbing fraud stories. Be sure to catch past episodes on your favorite podcasting platform or go to www.fridayfraudster.com.
All right, guys. So, look, my question for you today is, have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted? Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted? And it's not just me today. Heather is still exhausted after attending IIA Leadership Academy. Happy Friday. So, with that said, let's just bring them up. What's going on, guys?
Hello, hello.
Pretty good. How's it going?
All right. So, look, you heard the question I asked. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted?
Yes.
What happened? She's like, I can't talk about that.
I
Thomas is still thinking about it.
So I was going to say, I wouldn't, I think betrayed might be a little bit too strong of a word, but looking back, I realized that this person was a narcissist and would withhold information, and that would have helped me be a better auditor and advance my career better. So I guess looking back, it kind of felt like betrayal, but that I've never thought about it in those terms. But so, yeah, in a way.
Okay, how about this? Have you ever had anyone you trust steal money from you?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't trust anyone I know with my money, so
Ah.
Well, what's great is I'm saying not yet to my business partner.
Here's the thing though, Stephanie, you don't always have to trust them with your money. They could just take it. Like they could reach into your wallet while they're over your house and steal your credit card or do something like that. Now, Heather says, yes, she has had someone betray her or steal money from her. Interesting. So I will say I have had someone betray me and or steal money from me. And it wasn't a good feeling. Totally my fault though for trusting, but it was something real simple. So he was selling something. I don't know if it was candy bars or t-shirts or something. And he came to me and he was like, "Hey man, I'd appreciate it if you could help me out and buy this thing." I think it was t-shirts. And I said, "Well, sure, man." It was t-shirts. When can I expect to get it? He said, "Oh, you can get it in a couple of weeks." And this was a long time ago. So I remember I wrote him a check. The check cleared very quickly. 1 week passed. I'm like, "Hey, where's my shirt?" And he hemmed and hawed with some terrible excuses. Second week passed. He still hemmed and hawed with some terrible excuses. Third week passed. A month passed. 2 months passed. And I kind of figured, hey, I got scammed by a family member to make it even worse. So then I just said, well, okay, either I got scammed or he just forgot. Until I ran into another family member and they were like, "Hey, Did you buy a shirt from you know who? I was like, yeah, man, you bought a shirt from him too? Yes, and I never got my shirt. So we figured out we got scammed by our own family member. Isn't that crazy?
That's sad.
You need money from family, just ask. Don't like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
It's sad when it hits that close to home, you know?
definitely. Yeah, makes Thanksgiving a little bit rough.
Right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July. Although 4th of July, you might shoot a firecracker their way on acts of purpose.
Oops.
So, yeah, if you've never had it happen to you, count your blessings. Go hug your family. That means maybe you have decent family. Hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm the only one. I feel like the odd man out this week. Like something's wrong with me. me. Well, we already know that something is wrong with me, but yeah. Okay. So I look at that as a form of, thievery and embezzlement because my family is a part of my business, or I used to think that way. Now I know some people can't be trusted. It's on an individual basis, right? So we typically think of embezzlement as something that happens in glass towers on Wall Street, right? We think of complex algorithms, offshore accounts. But the most effective frauds are really the simplest. And they typically happen at your local dealerships in the back office amongst the smell of diesel and the sound of heavy machinery. Don't you think?
Are you talking about used car salesmen? That's just wrong,
I was
man.
gonna say that's yeah, that goes without
Oh,
saying.
I mean, if the shoe fits, no offense to any used car salesman.
That's right. My
Okay.
dad used to sell shoes and used cars in his past.
Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, okay, okay. So look, today we're looking at a man who didn't need to wear a mask to commit his crime, nor did he need a hacker's toolkit. He just needed a stack of loan applications and the signatures of people who never suspected a thing. The guy we're talking about to get today is Doug Litton. How would you describe him? Okay, I think I would describe him as the manager who sold ghost tractors to a community that thought he was one of their own. That sound fair? How would you guys describe good old Doug?
I bet you he was a well-liked guy. That's what I'm thinking. He was well-liked in the community. People trusted him. It's like a, small area in Tennessee.
And now you said ghost tractors, but I wasn't aware of anything that was like selling something and not actually having the material. I thought it was more of not reporting the sale to be able to hold on to it. Not to give away too much with this, but that's the way I was interpreting this. Did you find out more information?
Well, the goods never exchanged hands, right? So
Okay, I didn't find out that part. I didn't dig into it enough to see that part. I thought goods did exchange hands.
no.
Okay. All
The
right.
money exchanged hands, but the goods never exchanged hands. That's okay,
So,
okay.
so yeah, that would be. I don't know. All of a sudden, I have more questions than answers.
Now you see as we were talking back, now you see why I was so confused, almost like last week, just as confused. Okay, so
Yep.
picture it. We are in Virginia, and it's the kind of place where John Deere green is the official color of the landscape. Everything looks green and pristine. And at Me Tractor, the showroom is full of shiny new equipment. And for years, the man at the center of it all is Michael Douglas Litton. You see, he was the manager and he was the guy that could get you a deal on a John Deere tractor. He knew all the farmers, he knew the landscapers, and he knew how to move paper. But behind the scenes, he was running a second dealership, one that only existed in the files of John Deere Financial. So let's talk about this fraud. To understand it, you have to understand how big equipment is bought. So no one walks into a store and drops $100,000 cash for a tractor. They finance it, kind of like how we finance our cars, except for it's a lot more money. So they fill out a form at the dealership. The dealership then sends it to John Deere Financial. John Deere Financial approves the loan, and then the money is wired to the dealership. And it's like a well-oiled machine. Again, similar to buying a car. But here's what Doug did. Doug realized that if you can control the paperwork, you can control the machine. And he realized he didn't even need a real customer to get a check. Now,
it really makes you wonder how many controls were in place, not just for the company he was working for, but like all the way around. Even the people that were buying stuff.
Yep. That's what makes this strange. Now, Bob says the fraudster wore a smile. Don't they always? Don't they always? Not Iowa, but Virginia, Heather. But yeah, don't they always wear a smile? Did I?
See, I got Tennessee. I got a different guy, and I got him in Tennessee.
Maybe I did say the wrong name.
Yep, you're right. It is Tennessee. I didn't even catch the wrong state part, but yeah.
My bad. My bad. It is Tennessee. That makes sense.
And what name were you using?
I think I did use the wrong name too in my notes.
Poor Doug. Some guy named Doug is out there going, "Hey, wait a minute."
Doug might have been the guy from last week. I'm so sorry, but I got the scheme right though.
Yes, you got the scheme right.
So here's what happened though. Okay, according to federal documents, what he would do is he would take the names and personal information of actual customers, and without their knowledge, he would fill out new loan applications in their name for expensive equipment. He would forge their signature on documents, and he would send it off to John Deere Financial. And they would see a trusted manager submitting a verified loan. And there you go. The approval happened. So what do you guys think so far?
No, it said something about consignment, folks that had their stuff on consignment too. So he was being a little fishy with that stuff. Sounds like a big shell game.
Yep. A huge shell game.
He was definitely getting creative with it, right? He had several moving parts that were going on. And you would think someone would have noticed something pretty quickly, right? Not, I mean, how high was his stress level trying to manage all of this?
Right.
Remember it all?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Jacob Redman is his name. I don't know where I got the other name from.
just blame AI.
That's right. Definitely.
Nowadays, if you make any kind of mistakes, it's AI's fault. So you're good.
Always verify. Always vet the information you get from AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I try to make separate notes, and I may have just mixed it all up in my notes. Okay. The fraud ran from 2021 to 2025. So that's not that long, right?
Yep. And actually, he was fired in January of 25. So really, it was just 21 through 24 that he was doing the fraud. So yeah, just 4 years.
That's true.
Which, compared to last week it was like what, 4 months, 3 months, something like that. Or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I've slept since then.
I think that was last week. I don't know. Uh, okay.
It's nice to see the business actually fired him when they found out what was going on. 'Cause you see so many businesses, they don't say anything and they don't report it. They fired him as soon as they found it and reported him to law enforcement. So I got to give them credit.
Oh, you want to hear something else? So the reason that I said the other dude's name is because he did something similar. There were two articles when I was doing my research. He did something similar in another location. So
Sounds like they need to vet their people a little better.
that's what I was just thinking. Yeah. That's exactly what I was just thinking.
Well, so I'm trying to think of a proper term to use on a live stream, but you've got the good old boy network, right? And you use people that you like. You have the good old boy. You've got the handshake deals, and so these managers of these locations are part of that good old boy network. So you don't really question. You don't have controls in place to protect some of the stuff because they're your buddy, they're your friend, and you trust them. So I can kind of see where that might have been, a sticking point. That's why, two guys got away with, or it sounds like got away basically for a while with the same thing because they're just trusting. So if you're running a business and if you have this kind of good old boy type setup, maybe put some controls in place, just some stuff to keep people accountable.
Even though they didn't find, that they didn't vet their employees very well, you guys will definitely both appreciate how they found out. Did you read that? Rob was looking. It was an audit.
Right. Now, did you catch if it was internal or external? We're going to give internal audit
right?
credit.
I know. Oh, man.
Okay, let's talk about this though. This man had a fairly sophisticated fraud scheme. So he realized that if he could manipulate the sales records, he could essentially make a tractor disappear from the lot on paper while the money from the sale went straight to his pockets. So he was playing a shell game with these 5,000-pound machines. According to some federal documents unsealed April of 2026, which is this month, he pleaded guilty to wire fraud. So he didn't just steal, he manufactured transactions. The total amount, about $1 million. What he did was he allegedly, I guess if he pled guilty, it's not alleged anymore, huh?
Yep.
He altered internal sales documents to show discounts or trade-ins that never happened. And so that allowed him to pocket the difference in cash where real customers had paid.
Those customers probably thought they this guy's awesome. They're giving him this discount or this tax waiver. And, nothing like a little friendly tax evasion, right?
Yeah. So now, what actually tipped them off? Stephanie said it was auditors, but let's get back before that. Here's what investigators found that was kind of odd. What he would do is he would list the ghost trade-ins on sales contracts, and he would tell the company that a customer had traded in an old tractor at a lower price, but that traded tractor never actually showed up on the lot. Hence my term earlier about the ghost tractors, right?
Okay.
So now,
Gotcha.
what caught it was the auditors came in and did a physical count of the inventory versus the digital records, and they found dozens of imaginary tractors that were supposed to be in the warehouse but had never physically existed.
So is he doing his own inventory counts and signing off on them and, either turning them in or inputting them? Are they not doing any?
He's the store manager, so
Yeah. I mean, just corporate office, someone from corporate accounting or audit, if they have an internal audit department, just like randomly doing inventory counts, at random stores would have stopped this.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened because they mentioned a physical audit. I'm imagining it probably was John Deere corporate auditors that came in and did the physical audit. It just took years because there's only so many auditors and only so much time you have.
You think it was John Deere, since this was, I mean, it wasn't a John Deere company. Yeah, it was Mead that was running this.
Yeah, but so I meant to look this up, but my guess is it may have been a John Deere franchise up under the Mead name, or sometimes when it comes to like floor planning, I know for automobiles versus tractors, say like if you're financed through GMAC will come out and audit your inventory because of the way autos are financed. So you have a floor plan that takes place, right? And based on that floor plan, they'll give you a loan, the manufacturer, and so they have a right to audit. But I was looking for that, so I don't know for sure. I'm kind of assuming here because who else would be auditing it? It wouldn't be the state, so it would have to be either the
small business owner
the small business owner or the John Deere Financial. So because realistically, John Deere is one arm where they actually have the physical goods, and then John Deere Financial is the bank, for lack of a better term, which is the financing arm.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, to think this small business could lose their contract with John Deere. They could lose their livelihood if they pull their, like if it's a franchise, they pull their franchise status.
Right. Now, Heather is saying some angry farmers would be after his head once they found out. And I think this might be Carol. Huh?
With their pitchforks.
Exactly. I think this might be Carol, I'm not sure, but said, did he run out of family and friends? Oh.
I'm looking at their website, Mead Tractor's website. Now I did see that the CEO of the company, president and CEO of it, which is his last name is Mead, so it's probably his company. You made comments about it, and yeah, they are very much in the John Deere green and yellow and all of that. So they're separate, but yeah, they are completely tied in, obviously, with the John Deere. So yeah, you were right, Stephanie. If they mess this up, they're out of business, period. So yeah, they had to get on this quick.
Oh, for sure. And that's the way it works with even your auto dealerships. So yeah, and I see what Stephanie wrote. So like, as a part of the agreement, Redmond stipulated to embezzling funds from the consignment sales under which customers had placed their equipment with Mead to sell, and from sales of Mead inventory, obtaining personal loans that were secured with Mead's inventory without the company's knowledge, using his brother's farmer's tax exemption identification for sales to other people, and using his brother's John Deere frequent customer ID for non-qualifying purchase discounts to customers who otherwise didn't qualify. So when people bought, he was giving them the discount and he was taking the cash from the discount. On top of factoring.
Guess who's going to get audited now by the IRS? Probably his brother.
Yeah.
Probably his brother.
Now, do you think he was pocketing the cash from the discount, or if he was just doing that and
no,
it was taking money from the company, but he wasn't necessarily pocketing the cash. It was instead helping him to get more sales from a commission standpoint. So maybe
if you got bonuses and stuff, it's hard to tell.
It is very hard to tell. Yeah, that's a good point. He may have just been getting the bonuses.
Because, like, if you think about, and I know this is much smaller, but you go into like CVS, go into Kroger, some of those places where you have a discount card. and you walk in, you're like, oh, I forgot it. They're like, oh yeah, no problem. They grab the card, they swipe it for you real quick, and you get it. You get the store sale price or whatever. You don't think anything of it. It's like, okay, great. But like with John Deere, I was looking it up because I was curious, and you accumulate points and you can get credits and you can get different stuff, and I'm sure a whole bunch of John Deere hats and jackets. But so the brother was getting the points, and these farmers and such were like, hey, yeah, I'll take a discount on this. And I don't know if I would think anything of it if I was a customer. They're like, hey, I've got this one that I can just scan for you. I don't know if I would have even caught that if I was a customer.
I mean, I'd be a little skeptical if somebody said, hey, you're buying this $30,000 piece of equipment, but don't worry, no tax. I got you.
That one I would. That one would, yeah. That might be like, wait, what? But I wonder though if he didn't say no tax. I wonder if he just said, I can get you a discount, and they didn't even dawn on them if they weren't paying attention. It was below the line. It was taxed. Just trying to give them a little credit. the people that were buying the stuff, right?
I've seen some like furniture stores, they'll say, tax sale or something, but all they do is take whatever your tax rate is and they add that as a discount, but you do still pay tax, or they pay the tax through a discount, but it's still paid to the man.
Okay, so I've been trying to figure out if Meade did indeed have an internal audit department. And I can't say with certainty. Some sources are saying that the corporate office began a routine internal audit across their 15 locations. And they were doing a floor plan check. So it may not have officially been internal auditors, maybe just inventory auditors, but they did a physical inventory. And that is when the red flag popped up.
Yeah.
So, for example, in his location, they found quite a few tractors that were missing. Yeah.
So he may have just been trying to, be the good guy, given these people who may not have a lot of money in the area, the good guy discount. But it's, took away taxes for, and profit from the company. So don't know if all of that was actual embezzled, like cash money or lost profits. Probably a
Well,
combo.
he was definitely pocketing the money because they found a series of deposits in his bank account. So he was telling corporate one price and getting the loan for one price, and then telling the customer another price, and then just pocketing the difference.
It seems like it was too easy.
He had a very small, modest house. Nothing, he wasn't out there buying a Porsche or.
Well, that's probably why you could get away with it for 4 years. I mean, you do a parking lot audit and you're not going to notice anything. Small town, probably you didn't notice anything that he spent a lot of money on because there's nothing obvious there.
Yeah, it makes you wonder because they say the total damage was about $1 million. And to Stephanie's point, he had a very small house. Actually, let's take a look at the house. It was a very modest house. So there it is. Stephanie found his house.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like 1,200 square feet. It's very small. It's a very simple house, simple life. I mean, beautiful. Looks like he might have a nice view, but nothing, no McMansion out there.
Yeah. Oh man, I can open Street View. Let's see what that looks like. Now I'm really curious.
And then we're gonna see like a Porsche in front of it.
Right. Okay. So either this is his home or his neighbor's home. I'm thinking it's his
the one on
neighbor's.
the right.
Okay. So he's in a cul-de-sac.
A modest neighborhood, nothing fancy.
Yeah. I mean, the other houses look better than his, so maybe he was in some financial trouble. Because I mean, and I'm not being funny. I'm just observing here. Seriously, look. So take a look at his house.
Maybe his
Now,
Porsche is in the barn in the back there.
right. Now take a look at his neighbors. Look at the next neighbor. Look at the next neighbor.
So it looks like one of the smaller houses in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. If I was just doing a drive-by, I would not suspect anything of him from a fraud standpoint.
Oh, I'm guessing this might be his car.
I don't know if that's the neighbor. Might be a neighbor. Can't tell.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's his or the neighbor's over to the right. Because,
Nothing that
well,
screams out.
because this is probably his driveway right here. Then, yeah, and then his
That's my
barn.
guess.
Well, that's his garage. It's detached. But also, when you look at it too, for someone who stole $1 million, yeah, it is a smaller house. So I don't know. But then the question becomes,
And you notice that it looked like the last time it was sold was what was that, 2006?
Right.
So even through all of this, he didn't switch houses.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe he was just taking that money and saving it for so he could actually retire.
Oh, sorry, y'all. So yeah, the scheme ran from 2021 to 2025, and he agreed to pay restitution of more than $310,000.
Yeah, it said that so excluding the lost profit, excluding the lost interest from loans, I assume, the actual amount, it looks like the loss was about $272,000 of the actual loss.
Ah,
That's yeah, or that's the actual loss after he repaid whatever he had on hand in his accounts.
Yeah, the way I interpreted it, it seemed like he was actually paying back some of it while he was committing the fraud. Is that how you read it too?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you think about it, he did this over 4 years and got about just under 300,000. So that's not a lot of money per year that he was netting.
No.
So I mean, he was running multiple different schemes and making almost no money out of it. That's kind of
It's interesting.
Yeah. Normally, when we come across these, it's like they came across almost as geniuses and they did something stupid to get caught and they were just making tons of money. This is not one of those cases. It seems like.
I'm wondering if there's more to the brother and his farm. That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, wait, you're thinking maybe the brother actually did have something to do with it?
Maybe. There's no telling. But he's going to get audited now by the IRS.
Yeah,
If
that's
they're
true.
using his farmer's tax exemption, they need to see what he actually has.
Very true.
So says he'll be sentenced in August since he just saved the taxpayers a little money and pled guilty. So that was kind of nice.
Well, you gotta feel bad for the brother, right? Because now he is in a world of trouble.
If he wasn't involved.
Yeah. If the brother is truly innocent, I would feel really bad for the brother. And
yeah,
if he is innocent, how do you prove that you're innocent?
And that's the thing, because initially he's going to be guilty until proven innocent. Because oftentimes what he's going to have to do is just start paying the money back until he's proven innocent, because the taxes and penalties are just going to add up with the IRS. And it's going to be a
filing
horrible
false
time for him.
filing false taxes if they determine that there was some involvement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
hopefully he wasn't, but still small little town like that. And this his brother's this farmer. I mean, he's probably involved in the community, and now how's everyone going to look at him? As
Well, and he
suspicious
really
as
put the
all as the people are these days.
yeah.
He's going to have to move. I mean, the reputation he's going to have there, something tells me he's just going to have to get up and move. And it's going to be difficult staying in that same industry because, I mean, just a Google search, not even a background check, a Google search will come up, show the fraud that he's been committing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow. That's pretty sad because now the things that he's done, they affect the entire family.
Sure, in the community.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I imagine
Yeah.
in the community, they all went to school together, church together, events together. So, and people aren't going to just stop at blaming him. They're going to blame the entire family, the brother, the mother, the sisters, if there are any, the wives.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully
That is
nobody
one of those that,
loses,
even though it wasn't a
jobs.
large amount of money, you kind of wonder, if he's married, did the wife, did the wife know or have any kind of suspicions? Yeah. How did that part play out? I wonder.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It's the only kind of question I have.
I didn't see anything about his familial status.
Yeah.
Well, we know he has a brother. God. Okay. So, what do we think could have been done to stop this one, to prevent and or detect it, or did the controls actually work? They just worked a few years too late because an audit is what actually caught it. Hey, that rhymed.
You need a bumper sticker that says that, or a T-shirt.
An audit caught it.
Well, let's see. Obviously, the inventories, right? But then one of the ways he was committing this fraud is through the consignments. And anyone who works in retail knows that consignment sales are a very high risk spot for fraud, especially if you're thinking about these, very expensive pieces of equipment. I would be really focusing in on it. So yeah, inventory counts, and then the very obvious, but the loans part, to be honest, I'm surprised the John Deere side didn't catch something there. But yeah, that would be the first two things I would look at, is just doing a better job doing inventory counts, and then watching that consignment closely. That I'm surprised the consignment was part of it. You normally have a lot of controls around that one.
I'm thinking maybe it was the franchise owner didn't have a whole lot of controls, but then maybe John Deere corporate came in and said, whoa, 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 our numbers are numbering. So math isn't mathing.
Could be. Rob, how would you have stopped it or caught it?
I think it's your standard segregation of duties. I think he had too much control. And honestly, I think based on the size of the company, the audit that caught it is probably the control that you would have. Now, more frequent inventory counts probably would have worked better because it looks like they had about 15 locations. So I think this thing went on for 4 years. At least an annual inventory would have gotten this.
So it's not a small franchise. Even, I mean, you can bring in external inventory people too.
Right, right.
You know,
Companies that do that.
I had a client contact me one time and said, Thomas, can you go to this warehouse right here this month, this month, this month, and do an inventory count to see if the warehouse manager and your numbers are actually matching up. It's like
Yep.
that's all. So it and they picked the summertime in Houston, Texas, for me to go to a warehouse in Houston to do these counts. So I'm
Ooh,
still not exactly happy that I took that one
that's
on, but but yeah, I mean, it's something as simple as that. You're not having to do it every month. You're not having to send entire teams down. Like you said, grab Joe Blow off the street and say, hey, go count how many tractors you see out there.
Well,
It's not.
especially considering this is a high ticket item. Like a tractor is not
oh
cheap.
yeah.
Yep.
Depending on the type of tractor. I mean, I got a lawn tractor that's not like a $30,000 tractor, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, a tractor is definitely 100% not cheap. So yeah, I think they had the right control in place, but the frequency within which they were actually performing the control was the problem.
Gotta stay on it more.
It's just sad because I'm still, wondering like what was going on that made him do it. Like what was really happening. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. Did I miss anything? Now that we got the name straight,
And the state.
yeah, in the state.
I think we pretty much got it all. It just shows you that even in small town America, it doesn't have to be big city New York high rises, to have things like this happen. It happens everywhere.
you know,
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
say the quote from the president of the meat tractors says that we immediately terminated his employment and reported the matter to law enforcement. I want to advocate, yes, terminating, but hesitating on that termination, right? Because there was another one. I don't remember who it was now, but they identified it and they brought their case to, I think it was the FBI, but they did not terminate at the time because they wanted access to emails and other records to be able to help build a case if they needed to. So whenever you find some of these instances, sometimes it's good to get law enforcement opinion first before you actually go jump through that hoop, just in case you need access to data that you wouldn't have if you just terminated the person.
Yep. So okay. So I said he pleaded guilty, and I think he is scheduled to be sentenced in August of this year. But he pleaded guilty to wire fraud.
Wire.
Uh, yeah, it's always wire fraud, isn't it?
It's the easiest to get a conviction on. I think Kelly said that.
Yep, Kelly always says that. That's so. The maximum statutory sentence is 20 years in prison, and it's usually followed by 3 years of supervised release after that. And he faces a fine up to 250. But I think I said earlier that he was ordered to pay restitution of about $1 million. I think. Losing my voice.
Well, actually, the restitution ended up being like 311,000 because they had
That's
actually
what it looks
recouped
like.
all except for like 270,000.
Ah, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
The difficult part there is, okay, he stole this amount, but how much more would they have made in sales and in profits and such? And so that's why the restitution amount and the amount that he still owed, was off. But yeah, but 311,000 left, after $1 million worth is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a feeling that, because he's paying a lot back, he, pled guilty or, took a plea. I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those things where he'll get like 18 months and then probation or house arrest, or it's a
Yeah.
small little town in the middle of Tennessee. I don't see them sending this guy, to the clink for years and years.
Yeah. If he's a first-time offender, do you think he'll get off without any prison time?
So I think that's a federal offense, wire fraud. So I think he'll get something. I think they have to give him something, but I could be wrong. Maybe they
Yeah, I'm
do
not
house
sure.
arrest.
Yeah.
That's a little tiny house to be under house arrest in.
Yeah. Well, and a small town, and so yeah. All right. I think we've gotten all of this one. It's just sad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
thank
it
you for
is.
this week on this episode. And we'll see everybody next week.
So Rob is gone.